All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. We are going to completely shatter the old idea that the Quran is just some mere historical timeline. Instead, we're going to uncover the absolute masterpiece of a mathematical physics engine hidden right inside it. We're looking at a time-independent, closed-system topological framework where literally everything is interconnected. Let's get right into it.
Right out of the gate, we need a massive paradigm shift. Based on chapters 16, 24, and 25, you are not looking at an ancient text. You are looking at a living, self-referential closed universe. The source material describes it as an Eternal Memory Tesseract. It's a sealed structure that holds its own past, present, and future all at once. Remember this while you're reading. That is Allah's sentence, and you're Rasul talking, and it is your amanat, your trust, right now. You're entering an operational physics engine.
Section 1. Manṭiq al-Ṭayr, the logic of the bird.
To actually understand how this universe operates, we have to look at its native framework, named in chapter 27, verse 16, Manṭiq al-Ṭayr, the logic of the bird. Topologically, this is the logic of an oscillating dual field. Think about how a bird flies. It doesn't fight the air, it perfectly executes the path of least action. It flies the boundary by navigating two completely complementary causal fields simultaneously, the D10 and the I9.
Let's break down that core duality. D10 is the deterministic linear field. Mathematically, it's the derivative, d over dt. It's the physical, kinetic energy of the even, or Shaf, wing stroke. Its manifestation. On the flip side, we have I9. This is the integral of dt. It's the indeterministic, geometric, odd, or Watr potential. It's the navigation and memory. So D10 is the physical push, and I9 is the unseen spatial direction.
Now these two fields don't just exist in isolation. They converge at a central fulcrum called T3, mapping right to the path of least action in chapters 17, 9, and 10. T3 is the actual mass transformation confluence where kinetic and potential fields produce reality, and the entire engine is kept in perpetual motion by a fundamental asymmetry. D10 minus I9 equals 1. If it were perfectly symmetrical, the universe would instantly collapse into static nothingness. That differential of 1 is the literal heartbeat keeping the system breathing.
Section 2. The Parity law, even and odd. This brings us to the cosmic rules governing these fields, dictated by the Parity law found in chapter 89, verse 3. The universe operates on strict laws of odd and even. Odd nodes, which run on the I9 field, can operate totally solo for direct reception. Think of Miriam or the slave in chapter 18, verse 65. They don't need a partner. But the even nodes, the D10 manifest action nodes, like the male prophetic dyads of Dawood, Musa, or Harun, they always require pairing for reciprocal completion. An even node simply cannot perform an odd function by itself.
This parity asymmetry is exactly what drives the system's continuous breathing engine. It's kind of like the famous Collatz conjecture in mathematics. You move from 4, down to 2, down to 1. But the system doesn't just terminate and die. It compresses and then re-expands in a state of perpetual mass transformation.
And this incredible engine actively seeks resolution. There's a primordial split mapped at 1850 between the angels and Iblis, right? But that bifurcation perfectly closes at 5021. By the end of the circuit, every single nafs, every soul, arrives carrying both fields, a driver representing the D10 kinetic push and a witness representing the I9 potential memory. It completely heals that original split.
Section 3. The dual proof of resurrection.
So, how does this closed universe actually prove itself mathematically? We see a stunning trigonometric identity at play here. Specifically, sine 2 alpha equals 2 sine alpha cosine alpha. Textually, it plays out as a dual proof. Yahya at 1915 gives us the even third-person D10 proof of birth, death, and resurrection. He's observed from the outside. Meanwhile, Isa at 1933 gives us the odd first-person I9 proof of the exact same sequence, but from the inside. 1 math identity, 2 perfect derivations.
And if you want to see how tightly sealed this is, just look at the gap between those proofs. Isa's verse is 33. Yahya's is 15. 33 minus 15 is exactly 18. That is a self-referential mathematical lock, anchoring us right back to chapter 18, the cave, the very field that grounds this entire sit.
Section 4. The purification node.
Now, this framework is actively testing the reader's timing. You have to see this stark contrast. On one side, we have Pharaoh at 1092. He is the ultimate D10 loser. He waits until the terminal moment of physical destruction to submit, which is way too late. He becomes a mere physical warning sign, a preserved body completely devoid of orbit. But Musa at 743? He is the winner. He collapses and submits early, right at the correct I9 moment, well before destruction.
This double proof perfectly rederives Adam's original law of forgiveness. Think about Noah's son refusing the boat out of pride versus Yunus calling out from the belly of the whale, or Pharaoh at the sea versus Musa at the mountain. The law is simple but strict. Immediate inward turning is always answered. Prideful refusal or submitting only when you're literally about to die is not.
Section 5. Becoming the Book.
So, why does all of this matter to you? Because this is the ultimate map of the closed cycle. It's a self-referential system where change and memory continuously constrain each other. The Nurk boundary, found in chapters 2435 and 4252, literally tests this topology. If you make an odd boundary crossing, it places you safely inside the sanctuary, at home, coordinate 3846. If you make an even crossing, you're placed outside. You are navigating a precise mathematical grid. And as you traverse this map, you inevitably hit the 567 terminal filter. Humanity sorts into 3 final outputs: the Sabikun, the foremost, who anchor into the knowledge register; the Mumin, the right hand, carrying the trust through faith and action; and the left hand, those who concealed the trust and entirely failed to activate. Your exact destination depends entirely on a single point of activation.
That activation point is the 1912 grip. O Yahya, take the book with strength. Gripping 1912 is the required force to actually walk this grid. It activates the odd field, completing the triple state of the slave at 1930. It's the moment you wake up from the taghut, the trap of linear time, and arrive at the first Muslim coordinate at 616.
You always need to use your 10-100 AQL, your active intellect and pattern recognition. Wake up from the taghut, see the deep, recurrent structures driving the engine. The universe is waiting for you to execute that grip. Which leaves us with a final, lingering question. When will you stop merely reading and actually become the book of becoming?